So people probably saw that RFK Jr. he flipped the food pyramid. This was good. It first of all, it's great to see the pyramid this way, isn't it? It's like the hierarchy is disappearing. But the timing of this is interesting because this is the proper. See all the red meats up there? You know, back in the 50s, 60s, when everybody was eating red meat, okay? There wasn't so many problems. It's when they changed the food pyramid and it was flipped the other way that there was more mental health problems, there was more disease, a whole bunch of problems. But then this also ties with this way of looking at it with Covfefe. See, the amazing thing about the Covfefe, again, being a chemical it being, when I say Covfefe, it's a chemical compound. Co being cobalt, V being vanadium, and Fe being iron. And again, Trump had posted that. I think everybody knows that by this point. He's posted it like 3 times between his first term and while he was running for this time he's in. Anyway, but it's a chemical structure that they used in magnetic shielding, as I said yesterday. But it's also in us. But it's a trace elements. But they consider cobalt and iron, those are trace elements along with vanadium. Vanadium is even an ultra trace element. However, they have been doing research into it, and they're going to add it to being essential. Those 3 essential for human health. Because of vanadium being important for blood sugar and kidneys. And the way they work is it's protective to us. So when you flip this food pyramid, that's then why you're going to get more diseases, more cancer, all sorts of problems. Because you can't, everybody's just used to, I'm going to take vitamins. So when it comes to like cobalt, vanadium, and iron, if I understand correctly, because they're handcuffed, they're tied to proteins, okay? Which is how they're able to protect. Like cobalt protects DNA, synthesis, all of that, anti-aging. I already said what vanadium is tied with, metabolic and growth. Like there was, like even one of my nephews had a growth, not disorder, but he was slow growing. So he used to have to, when he was young, give himself injections every day because his growth was slow. You've seen more of that. You've seen more of a whole bunch of problems. So I'll give credit to RFK Jr. This was a good idea. So for people that are saying, "Oh no, red meat is bad," no, it's not. That's your biggest source, your most important source for iron. Iron ties into all of this. Interestingly, it does because of the blood and B12, and you most especially want to get your B12, all of this stuff from your food. Don't go running into some vitamin store or getting played by somebody, because these are just trace elements. So you don't want to be eating metal. So but for cobalt and iron, red meat is recommended. Yes, it's the healthy way to go to protect yourself. With vanadium, use black pepper, shellfish, parsley. You can look it up, but that's all things, and so these are the ways that it protects us. It protects our DNA while we're living under the magnetic field of the wicked one, the prince of this world. Speaking of, so this would be like really we're in an invisible cage all the time. And everybody will tell you, yes, it protects us. It protects us from the outside. But otherwise, it's what causes all your pollution. Okay, it is. And it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't align with us. because we're made in God's image, mostly of water and other things, but mostly water, right? This is an electrical field, which is why this world goes out of its way to act like you're like electricity. No, you're really not. Because I always look at that as like it's kind of downgrading, God's making of you. Okay, it's like you're just like a, I don't want to say replica, but you're just an artificial in a way. No, you're the real thing. While this is the magnetic field. And yet water, and the magnetic field is electric. It's very much electric, the way it operates. And yet, does water and electricity go? No, the last time I checked, you're not supposed to take a bath while blow drying your hair for a reason, So, so the way I think it's very obvious. Again, I come from the Bible perspective all the time. It's in my nature to always look through the biblical view. So, God said, the prince of the power of the air is the prince of darkness. He is the one that deceives you. Okay, that's what the magnetic field is the air. It is. And right now the poles, I should say, is it the magnetic poles or the geomagnetic poles? It's moving. Okay, so this can, throw GPS off and everything for certain places. Like for Russia, it probably will, because it seems to be moving more that way towards Russia. But they're worried that they're going to flip. Now, see, when the science and these people start talking about the last time the poles flipped was 500,000 years ago. I do not buy any of that. I do not buy this bullshit that the planets were in place 1.8 billion years ago. They have no way to know this stuff, but people buy it because somebody will get on the news and sound good delivering it. That's the problem with everybody just believing, oh, they're an expert. So this is what deceives you. Again, it's not always going to. It will, it is so good. It knows when we're going to have to give some good things, okay? Because we do have some things that help in health, but we have more problems. That's always been troubling to me. Why? Because man continues to exercise free will all the time and not surrender to God. This is the prison, the invisible prison we live under. And the prince of the darkness, the core, is where he's at. This is in the Bible too, really. I'd do another video just about the Bible verses about this, going back to the Old Testament. Okay, that this is molten iron. It's where the whole process takes place. And then the magnetic waves go out around the earth, okay? So you can just look at him at the middle of the earth. This is where he would reside. When it talks in Revelations about the lake of fire, yeah, well, it's the middle of the earth. I actually don't, I even wonder at this point if Eden was on earth, or if it wasn't between earth and heaven, just a plane of some kind, because Adam and Eve came down to this earth. And again, you're in this continual invisible prison, and that's what it is. The whole world is. However, it's lessening. Yeah, the earth's magnetic field is weakening. This was from 3 days ago. Fast, what it means. So it'll be a mess for tech, but satellites and GP. But this is probably what God wants, because, well, I'll do another video because I don't have enough time. But again, I used Gemini and I said, let's use the Earth's core and the magnetic field again as the prince of darkness, because it's clearly obvious. That's what the air is. It's filled with nothing, and we're all around magnetic waves. So I'll do a follow-up to explain how that absolutely ties, the Bible ties into the literal. It's the prince of the power of the air, the magnetic field. So many things would be different without the magnetic field. I know the science will tell you one thing, but they also are people that don't know God. So that's why they're only partially correct.